Hello everyone, this is Hui Chi, and in this video presentation with me is Mr. Teo Cho Hao and Mr. Nigel Singh.
Hi everyone, I'm Cho Hao.
Hi everybody, my name is Nigel and I'm a teacher here in NJC.
As you can see from this image, showcasing a work from Nanjum Pike, our presentation will be focusing on how EdTech can be used as a scaffold to help students get to the next level of art making, creating interactive kinetic artworks beyond the traditional mediums. This is a simple breakdown of our Secondary 2 General Arts program, which only runs modular for half a year, 1 hour per week. In this 6 one-hour lesson, we get students to try out 2D to 3D character design, then animate them through coding, and finally exhibiting their works in the school atrium. The idea of 3D character design was inspired by this book titled Paper Robots. At the first stage, students learn to fold and create simple illustrative designs on the paper robot template. Usually, a typical art module would end with them polishing up their 3D robot design. But here, we added an EdTech scaffold to encourage them to push the boundaries of character design. We wanted them to incorporate at least one movement that is relevant to the character they created, bringing the static character to life. They do so by learning coding using M5 sticks and Moto servers.
The challenge we have was teachers are not very well versed in coding, so what we have done is really to invite experts to actually co-construct and co-create the module with us. We also learn along the way with the students, and that helps to mitigate challenge of teachers having to learn everything before they start teaching the students. In a way, it's a change of mindset from teachers being the gatekeeper of knowledge to really the facilitator of learning for the students.
Doing character design drawings or learning coding on their own separately may seem boring or intimidating for some. Often, we have students who do not see the relevance of learning art due to the conventional association and limitations to drawing and painting. We also have art students who love art but lack problem-solving skills in general. This character design and coding module uses EdTech as scaffold to bridge the gap for different learner preference as they realize that learning in real life is not subject-based, and by collaborating, we can create something more than the sums of our parts. So in this picture, you see many things happening. We have a student brainstorming ideas on her iPad, students learning coding to animate the robot, and students cutting and folding the template. While working and contributing in their own area of strengths, be it character design, coding mechanics, technical making and assembly of the robot, the EdTech, both hard and software, serves as a scaffold for them to try out new skills that they may otherwise be resistant to. A scaffold is ultimately about helping students move towards independent learning. While students are only required to design simple movements with a standard code as basic scaffold, many went to explore more advanced movements which require additional knowledge on coding, mechanical systems, construction accuracy, and more. As NJC is an IP school, we have students from Sec 1 to JC level, and we design our scaffold differently for each level.
GenGrid stands for Generation Grid, right? And it's a program that is put together for our IP students who are in JC1, and as they await their JAE counterparts who are waiting for their O-level results to come in. As part of the GenGrid program, in the AP program, what we do is we organize this idea of prototyping as an experience, and we scale it up for our JC1 students because of their age, they're older, and also in terms of what they're exposed to, we feel like it's suitable for them to be exposed to prototyping on a more legitimate context, namely scaling it up, displaying their work on a public arena. In this case, like our college atrium, is a means where they get to see their work being shown on an authentic platform for evaluation, right? Sometimes I think students enjoy, as part of their learning process, experiencing a kind of success that is real, right, in the real world, when the public eye gets to see it, right? So a point to note about the GenGrid program is that these students, they are not just our art students, right? They are actually a bunch of students who have expressed their interest in the creative art sector. They come together, and it's really heartening to see students from a variety of interests really getting together, engaged in a meaningful way, where they are able to see their work being showcased through this process of prototyping and finally enacting it on a large scale. These experiences often are not things that we as art teachers do by ourselves or create by ourselves. We actually work with industry professionals, in this case Mr. Bartholomew Ting, and he's somebody who is known as a cardboard sculptor in the industry. He's been working with the use of cardboard on a large scale for exhibition purposes and things like that, right? So it's always an opportune time for teachers to also learn alongside the students as a means of professional development, for us to be able to stay relevant and know what is used in the industry, especially when technology is advancing at quite a rapid pace. We want to be able to provide for students that authentic learning experience such that they get real-world knowledge as part of their learning experience.
With the abundance of EdTech, we are sure everyone will be able to find one suitable to serve as a scaffold to help engage your students to become independent learners. Besides focusing on the software and hardware, it is also important to reflect on how and why. Because ultimately, EdTech is supposed to serve us as a way to do things more easily, effectively, and meaningfully.